Yesterday's earthquake wasn't just a physical event, it was a ripple in something far deeper. And it's only the beginning. California shook with the force of a 7.0 earthquake. But what if the shaking we felt wasn't the full story? Beneath the surface, there's a deeper pulse, a hidden energy that moves through the earth, not just as tremors, but as waves that deeply affect us, especially those who are attuned to spiritual energy. This isn't about assigning a meaning to tragedy. It's about recognizing how rare these moments are. Earthquakes of this magnitude don't just shake buildings. They stir the very fabric of what we think we know about stability, both on the ground and in ourselves. And here's the thing. While the ground stopped shaking yesterday, the real shifts, the ones we can't measure, are only just beginning. Today is when we start to feel those subtle ripples moving through us. It's a kind of energy that can't be measured by seismographs, but can still be felt by those who are paying attention. A 7.0 quake doesn't just shake cities, it rattles the core of what we think is safe. The magnitude of the earthquake is staggering. 7.0 is one of the strongest we've seen in recent memory. But this isn't just about the ground shaking. It's about the invisible aftershocks. For many, today feels different. There's a sense of disorientation, like something shifted in ways that are hard to name. Many spiritually attuned people are reporting different symptoms. Could these be the emotional aftershocks of such a powerful quake? We don't claim to have all the answers, but one thing is clear. Events like this leave a mark, not just on the land, but on those who experience them. So if you feel off today, don't brush it off. Pay attention. Sometimes, what happens after the quake reveals more than the quake itself. Did the tremors start long before the ground began to shake? November felt like a slow descent into chaos. For weeks, the energy around us seemed to build, layer by layer, moment by moment, until it finally reached a tipping point. Emotional unrest, unexpected challenges, and strange coincidences seemed to punctuate the month. And when it ended, many of us thought, finally, the storm has passed. But what if it didn't? What if December is following the same pattern? A crescendo of energy that begins subtly before surging into something undeniable. Yesterday's earthquake feels like the first major crack in December's calm exterior, mirroring the way last month unfolded. Patterns like these aren't just coincidences. They're echoes of something larger. Look back at the weeks leading to this moment. Were there signs, subtle or otherwise, that the energy was ramping up? If November taught us anything, it's to pay attention to those early tremors, the ones that seem small but hint at a larger wave to come. And now, here we are again. As we move through December, we're faced with a choice. Dismiss these patterns as random noise, or start looking at the bigger picture. Is this month shaping up to mirror the chaotic climb of November? And if so, what might we be building toward this time? When the Earth moves in California, it's rarely just about tectonics. California has always been more than just a place. It's a symbol, a force, a crucible of transformation. When the ground shifts here, it feels different, doesn't it? It's as if the tremors carry a resonance that reaches far beyond the fault lines. California isn't just a state, it's a pressure point for the planet. From its role as a cultural epicenter to its reputation for seismic activity, California seems to vibrate with an intensity all its own. The land here is alive, charged with layers of energy, geological, yes, but also something harder to define, something spiritual. It's a place where the Earth's movements seem to ripple outward, carrying waves of transformation across borders, across minds, across lives. So what about this earthquake? A 7.0 quake is massive by any standard, but this isn't just about the ground shifting. It's about the energy released in the process. The kind of energy that doesn't just shake buildings, but stirs the collective consciousness. Perhaps California, as it so often does, is acting as the world's tuning fork, resonating with energies we don't fully understand, yet undeniably feel. Could it be that this quake is more than a seismic event? Could it be part of a greater rhythm, one that California, in its unique role, is helping us hear? Why do events like this quake feel so personal? For all our modern advancements, there's a part of us that still clings to the idea that the Earth is stable, unyielding, and predictable. When that illusion breaks, it's jarring on a level that's hard to describe. Unpredictability doesn't just disrupt, it exposes how much we take for granted. Think about it. Every aspect of our lives is built on the assumption that the ground beneath us won't move. We plan, build, and dream on this foundation of supposed stability. But a quake like yesterday's 7.0 is a reminder that stability is, at best, an illusion. And it's not just the ground. It's our perception of control. In a world dominated by schedules, routines, and endless planning, something as sudden as an earthquake pierces the veil of our so-called predictability. It reminds us that no matter how much we try to tame it, the Earth has its own rhythm. Maybe that's why these moments feel so deeply personal. They remind us of our vulnerability, not in a way that evokes fear, but in a way that sparks awareness. Awareness that we're part of a planet that's alive, dynamic, and often unpredictable. Sometimes, the most unsettling events aren't the ones we see coming. They're the ones that remind us we'll never see everything coming. Could this earthquake have nudged more than just the ground? When we think of earthquakes, we picture tectonic plates grinding and shifting. But what if that movement triggered more than we realize? Beneath the surface, there's more happening than meets the eye. Energies released, fields disturbed, and perhaps subtle effects we're only beginning to understand. Science has uncovered much about earthquakes, but the energy they unleash might ripple farther than we think. Take electromagnetic fields, for example. Studies have hinted that major seismic events can cause fluctuations in these invisible forces, altering the way energy flows in the environment. Could that explain why some people report strange sensations, heightened intuition, or even vivid dreams after earthquakes? And then there's the idea of biological resonance. While speculative, some researchers suggest that our bodies, being electromagnetic in nature, might react to the energetic shifts that accompany major quakes. It's not just folklore, it's a growing area of inquiry. Strange coincidences, atmospheric oddities, even disruptions in animal behavior, these are phenomena that have been observed time and again around seismic events. We might not have the full picture yet, but it's enough to make you wonder, is an earthquake just a physical event? Or is it a pulse of energy that ripples through systems we don't fully comprehend? When the ground moves, it's not just a geological shift, it's an energetic one, and sometimes those ripples extend far beyond the fault lines. Are we feeling the Earth's pain or our own? There's a strange phenomenon that occurs after massive events like this, one that doesn't make the news or show up on seismographs. It's subtle but profound. The way people start reporting sensations that defy explanation. Headaches that come out of nowhere, dizziness, a sense of imbalance, even an odd, high-pitched ringing in the ears that just won't fade. These sensations might seem random, but when they happen in clusters, especially after events like yesterday's 7.0 quake, you can't help but wonder, what's really going on? Energy doesn't just disappear. It moves, it radiates, and sometimes it collides with us in ways we don't fully understand. Yesterday's quake wasn't just a physical event. When tectonic plates shift and release that much raw energy into the Earth, it's as if the atmosphere itself reverberates. Think of it like ripples from a stone dropped in water. Those ripples spread far beyond the point of impact. Could it be that some of us are more sensitive to these energetic ripples than others? Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying the quake directly caused these sensations. But if you've been feeling a little off today, or even since yesterday, could it be that you're in tune with the Earth's release of energy? For those more spiritually or energetically attuned, it's almost like your body becomes a sort of antenna, picking up on subtle shifts in the environment. And here's what's truly fascinating. You don't need to be anywhere near California to feel it. Spiritual energy isn't bound by geography. It travels through connections we can't see, but sometimes can't ignore. Sometimes what we feel in moments like this isn't about distance, it's about resonance. And resonance doesn't care about miles. And it's not just physical sensations. For some, it manifests emotionally, a sudden feeling of sadness, unease, or restlessness that doesn't seem tied to anything specific. Could this be a reflection of the Earth's unrest, or a mirror of something collective within us? This isn't a new idea either. Many cultures have long believed in the interconnectedness between humanity and the planet. They've spoken about the way the Earth's upheavals can echo within us, surfacing feelings we've buried, stirring up emotions we thought were dormant. But here's a thought. What if these sensations, these aftershocks, aren't just reactions? What if they're reminders? A call to pay attention, not just to the Earth, but to the way we respond to the energy around us? An aftershock isn't just a tremor beneath the ground. Sometimes it's a nudge within us to stop, feel, and listen to what's really going on. What does it mean when the very ground beneath us can't be trusted? Think about this. We spend our lives walking, running, building, and thriving on what we assume is unshakable ground. And then, in a matter of seconds, all that certainty is gone. The quake reminds us of a truth we'd rather not confront. Stability is an illusion. This isn't just about California's tremors. It's about how fragile the idea of stability really is, and how much we depend on it without even realizing it. But here's the thing, that instability doesn't have to be terrifying. It can be transformative. When the Earth shifts, it forces us to stop, reassess, and ask questions we wouldn't otherwise. What do we rely on most? What happens when that's taken away? And more importantly, what do we have within ourselves to carry us through? Today, December 6th, isn't just about aftershocks or cleanup, it's about something deeper. As we process what happened yesterday, we start to understand the emotional and spiritual undercurrents of that instability. It's unsettling, yes, but it's also a chance to adapt, to evolve, to discover what true resilience looks like. Resilience isn't about standing still while the world shakes around you. It's about moving with the tremors, finding your footing, and realizing that you're stronger than you ever thought possible. We live in a world that's constantly moving. The earthquake is a stark, literal reminder of that. But maybe, instead of fearing the movement, we can learn to flow with it. Because stability isn't about immobility, it's about adaptability. And adaptability, that's a strength no quake can take from you. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, Take care and subscribe for more insightful content.